Good. Let's record this. All right, so we are recording this for posterity. So if you guys go away for coffee or something like that, a little break, we are recording this, and I think you guys will be putting it on your YouTube channel as well. We'll be putting on our YouTube channel this webinar. So if you guys want to review the webinar at any time, you can check it out on either KeenTools or Reallusion's YouTube channel and review anything that you missed. So yeah, and obviously, like I mentioned, we're going to have a little bit of a live demo from Jakub. We're going to be doing a Q&A session. So if you guys have any questions, please put your questions in the Q&A panel there in Zoom, and we'll answer those questions closer to the end of the webinar. We do have a really cool giveaway that we're going to be doing a little bit later on as well. But for now, I think, yeah, I think I've gone through the basic stuff. At Reallusion, we always send out a survey at the end of the webinar as well. And for the survey, half of the giveaways is going to be for people who respond to the survey. So make sure you check your email and get that survey sent back to us. You get a 10% discount from our content store, and you also get the chance to win some prizes from Reallusion and KeenTools as well. So I think that's the basics. I also want to mention here as well, we got some promo stuff going on. This is let's move my screen here. This is the outline for what we're going to be talking about today. You guys have probably already seen this if you've signed up for the webinar, so no need to go into too much detail here. But we also have some promotional stuff to talk about before I get to the introduction of everyone. We have our Reallusion contest going on. This is very relevant to what we're talking about today with KeenTools, the Blender plugin, creating your own 3D characters. We have our 3D character contest going on, which I hope all of you participate in. It's a really cool contest. There's tons of really cool prizes as well. I'm going to throw this link into the chat for everyone to take a look at. And you can check that out on your own time, but make sure that you sign up for that, or at least participate, and take a look at the prizes quick here. If I can move back to that. Yeah, I mean, you can just check it out on your own time. I don't need to go into too much detail because we got a lot of stuff to cover here with myself and our friends here at KeenTools and Jakub as well. But yeah, make sure you check out this website if you're interested in 3D character creation, which I assume you are since you're here. Then you want to check this contest out, 45 grand in prizes and whatnot. That's really all the promotional stuff that I have to do for this webinar. I've covered that we'll have the Q&A at the end of today's session. We'll do a live draw for some prizes as well. And we'll talk more about that later. But I think I've been talking too much, so I want to let everyone else introduce themselves. So from my top left, it looks like Anton, you're on the top left. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell everyone what's going on?
Yeah, of course. In KeenTools, I'm a software developer, so I'm in charge of developing our products, and also I think we can talk today about development process of our integration with Character Creator. Yeah, nice to see you guys here, and probably I can pass my voice to Roman.
Yeah, Roman's next on my list here.
Yeah.
Hello,
nice.
everyone. Yeah. I'm a founder and CEO at KeenTools, and yeah, basically that's it. Today we're gonna talk about one of our products and its integration with another awesome product. Oh, that's how I said that our product is also awesome. But yeah, we're gonna talk about integration between KeenTools and Character Creator. And actually, me and Anthony today is more like guests here, but like the main hero of today, as far as I know, Jakub. So passing over to you.
Okay. Thanks. I'm Jakub. I'm a concept artist. I work mostly on games and movies. And today I will show you how to make characters that resemble realistic people, and how to clothe them, pose them, and basically I will walk you through all my workflow.
Right on. And where are you guys all based? If you don't mind asking, where are you all from right now? Where are you broadcasting from? Amsterdam. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, Yerevan, Armenia.
Okay. And Jakub, I think.
And Poland, very small village, Łądowo. Good luck with pronouncing that.
Nice. I love small villages. I'm from Calgary up here in Canada. So pleasure to meet everyone and see you guys all here and hey everyone from the chat. All right, I think that's basically it for our introductions. In terms of further introduction, I think for some of us who are not familiar with either Character Creator or KeenTools, we have I believe we have some videos prepared from both of our teams. We don't really have a video from Reallusion. It'll take too long, but if you guys have a video, did you want to share that right now, or? I believe you should be able to.
Sure.
Anthony, if you could share the screen, and I'll try briefly explain what's going on. It's actually like all about our tool, which is called FaceBuilder. It's a pretty neat plugin for, in this case, Blender, but it's also available for Foundry, the Foundry Nuke. And it's actually a tool for creating realistic, quite precise face models based on few photos. Actually, it can work with one photo, with two photos, but like more photos you have, the better result you get. But it's not about like photogrammetry process when you have to take, I don't know, 60 photos. It's like about like having 3, 4, 5 things, so you can find them in internet, or you can take these photos on set, and so on. And it produced pretty accurate mesh, which fits the perfectly photos. And what is very important in this process, even if it's actually automated, but like you can, as an artist, have ability to move this. You see red dots. You can put red dot everywhere on the surface and drag it to a corresponding point on a surface, on a photo, on any view. And that's how you can interact with the tool as an artist. And basically that's it. That's only thing. So like the entry barrier for FaceBuilder is pretty low. You can easily start working with it, but without any knowledge of 3D modeling or sculpting and so on. So yeah, that's basically in a nutshell what KeenTools FaceBuilder is.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for that, Roman. Yeah, I've personally been using FaceBuilder for a recent history here. I found it a fantastic tool and very useful. I kind of like slacked off on my Blender learning for a while. I went over to Unreal for a while, but now I'm back in learning Blender, which is it's not the easiest thing in the world, but it's definitely an awesome tool with Blender to use as KeenTools. And we'll talk more about that as we go on through today's webinar. And I want to reemphasize as well, if you guys have any questions about the process or anything, please put those questions in the Q&A of Zoom there. I'll be kind of looking at the chat, but the Q&A session we'll be answering a little bit later on. So if anything piques your interest or anything you want to learn about, make sure you put some questions in there. Okay, I guess for at this point, we're going to probably hand it over to Jakub. You're going to give us a brief introduction of your workflow, and then we'll go over to the KeenTools staff and we'll talk more about the plugin, and then we'll get into more detail, Jakub, about your workflow. So maybe just give us a brief overview of your workflow at this point.
Okay, so basically, quite often when I work on movies, I have to show actors in the scene doing certain stuff to sell it to the directors and producers. So creating that before was pretty challenging. You had to photobash, which was like pain in the ass, to be fair, when you have multiple shots. So I'm starting with the KeenTools now to get the likeness of an actor, and then I go to the character creator where I finish my character, and then I can assemble everything back in Blender and pose it and change stuff. I can get animation for character creator and so on and so forth. It's very flexible workflow, and you can like iterate a lot and jump back and forth. So that's why I like about it.
Very cool. All right. Well, I guess for Anton and Roman, I'll ask you a couple questions because I know a lot of our Reallusion users may not know too much about KeenTools yet. So I want to give you this opportunity, and I'll ask a couple questions to introduce more details about KeenTools, why it's important, and why it's powerful in their workflow, character creation workflow. So in terms of FaceBuilder, where did you guys come up with the idea from FaceBuilder? Maybe give us a background about it.
Well, it was a funny story actually. So it's like I have a background as a composting artist. So I was working on like as a composting artist in Nuke for 5 or probably 7 years or something. And one day we understood that we want to have geometry tracking inside Nuke, because we actually had a lot of application for it. And our first tool was called GeoTracker. And this tool was able to track any object of known geometry, like even if it's a quite hard tracking. For example, I have this bottle in my head, and I want to change. Nope, it's called water.
Okay.
But I like the way you think about it.
Yeah.
So, and if I want to change this print here and write vodka, I need to track it, and then I can apply this visual effect. And if I know the geometry of this bottle, and usually it's not that hard, for example, in this bottle is in a nutshell just a cylinder, so I can like track it using GeoTracker. And that was our tool, and it was like kind of a very, very popular tool among Nuke artists. Now this tool is also available in Blender, and in Blender is also like quite popular add-on at the moment, and it's even probably more popular nowadays than FaceBuilder. And but it's appeared that people actually tend to track faces a lot, because like so many applications, when you want to, like, I don't know, change the hair, you want to add some sunglasses or some hat or some scratches and so on and so on. And for this, they had to somehow get the precise head model of the actual actor. And yeah, people were like talking about it to us. We were thinking about like it, but not really actively. But one day, there was a like series of educational materials by Foundry. They're like vendors of Nuke. It was produced by Joe Rush, and he was creating a visual effect, some scratches, as far as I remember, for some like female actor. And this actress was like moving very fast and so on. And he said, okay, I'm gonna track her face first using KeenTools GeoTracker. Oh, by the way, I don't have a model of her face, so I'll take just a model of my face because I have it, and I will track with it. And he successfully tracked it, but I was like literally crying looking at this video, like, because like, no, it's not intended to use in this way. You have to use a precise model, dude. And like, it was a moment when we decided to create a tool for creating this model based on footage or reference photos and so on. And this tool we called FaceBuilder. So originally it was a tool for creating models for tracking. But later, when we ported it to Blender, like people started to use in like many different like ways. For example, like in a way like we are going to discuss today, for creating characters. That's how it all started. And yeah, but nowadays it's far beyond the original idea of getting the precise model for tracking.
Awesome. That's really cool to know the background. I didn't know any of this before actually right now. So that's really, really cool and interesting to learn. I think we have a lot of KeenTools and FaceBuilder fans here in the chat, it looks like. So good to see everyone here. Another question for you guys. Hey, everyone. Another question about so what's the background in terms of like why Blender and your whole pricing thing? Maybe explain a bit more about that.
Well, it was a paid tool for Nuke, and one of the most usual, like frequent question we got was like, do you want to create a standalone? Nuke is too expensive for us to using your tools. And even sometimes there was like responses like, hey, we bought Nuke for working with GeoTracker, and it was like a bit FaceBuilder, and it like, you know, Nuke is way more expensive. And so we thought that it would be nice to lower the barrier, like, because for us it was some like limiting factor, and we decided to create it like not as a standalone, because, you know, we do a 3D tool. One more way how to manipulate 3D space? Nope. It's like I already know like 5 different ways how to do it. I don't want to introduce one more, and introduce new interface and all these kind of things. So we decided to just provide it for the most popular, the most accessible platform which is on the market right now, which is Blender. And yeah, basically that's it. And we just, speaking about pricing, we just like left the pricing how it was in Nuke. And if you buy the license in Blender, it currently works in Nuke as well, and vice versa. So we actually just do the tool that can simplify your life and minimize like some time on modeling and so on. And like that's why that pricing.
Absolutely. And I can tell you guys, it's a very valuable tool in terms of like what I've used it for so far. Incredibly useful and great quality results. I was really impressed. I didn't even know about FaceBuilder until like a few months ago, and people were like introducing it to me, and I was like, this is awesome. So yeah, really psyched about it. And I'm still in the learning process as well. So I'm learning here as we go. So I guess the next question I have is your advice for getting the best results with FaceBuilder. Any tips or tricks that you, as probably the most experienced guy with FaceBuilder, can give the attendees here?
Yeah, I think I can talk about it. Actually, to get an accurate model, first you need high quality photos. Of course, as Roman said before, you can achieve a decent result even with random photos from the internet. But if you want really good quality, you need to take like approximately 7 photos of a person from different angles, with even lighting, without many shadows and highlights, of course, on the face. And after that, you can grab good quality texture. And as we know, it's like one of the most one of the most important part to create good likeness for our character. So firstly, you need good photos. We propose use at least 5 angles of views, like 2 profiles and 2 3/4 photos and 1 frontal photo. You can also add like frontal photos taken from a bottom and from a top. It could improve the texture of the model, and sometimes it could improve even the quality of mesh, because you have more information to create your model. But basically, it's the good starting point. Use 5 photos, and next you can start from the frontal view. Just try to align, to click align button, and after that you need like initially roughly align the model in all views. After that, you can iteratively improve your result by adding new pins and try to get like the good quality. Try to sculpt some details on your face. And basically, I think that's all you need to know if you want to achieve a good result. Of course, we have some additional settings, some advanced settings, like settings for your camera. If you want, if you know the parameters of your camera, you can you can use it before pinning, and it could improve result too. But basically, it's kind of advanced settings. You don't need it to get good quality in like in basics. Yeah. So
Okay, yeah, I think we'll see some of that workflow a little bit later when Jakub shows his kind of workflow. So we'll see some of the best basically. And on that note, I think I'll just I got to talk to Jakub next. Talking about your particular workflow with Headshot. So how did you find Headshot useful, Jakub, and how do you integrate it together with FaceBuilder?
Basically, before I was using Headshot 1.0, so it was okay to get likeness, but it was very hit or miss sometimes. So I was looking for something that can help me down the line. Then Headshot 2 came out when you can take the scanned mesh, and I was happy with that. But then like I cannot scan the face of the actor I'm working with. And then I found finally a KeenTools where I can get the photos and I can get the likeness. And then in the headshot I can adjust the head, fix the texture and all that. So it came like really working in handy last year, I think, when all the steps clicked for my workflow, and I'm like happy with that, how it works.
Yeah, honestly, this is a really efficient and spectacular workflow I can recommend, and I think Jakub will show more about that later. How about I guess the next part is in terms of posing your characters. From what I'm aware, you use Character Creator to do a lot of posing, or iClone, or a combination of
yes, and there is the library of the poses from the Reallusion that it has ready scans. So basically, I can download the rigs with the animations, and then I can copy the animations in Blender, so I don't have to use any other program. Like I can stick with Blender to do like most heavy lifting in that. So it's really handy that I don't have to jump between programs to export or re-import stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple people in the chat saying they're enjoying Headshot 2.0, so good to hear that, guys. Always nice to hear positive feedback from everyone. So when you're so I guess you've worked obviously with the Blender Character Creator pipeline. When you like import animation and stuff like that, and export animation, do you find that useful, and also the auto setup stuff? Maybe explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, the auto setup comes in handy with the materials, because if somebody doesn't know, Character Creator has a lot of textures, and auto setup helps with setting up all the materials to work nicely. With the animation, it's literally 2-click and link in Blender, so it's also very efficient. And you can copy the whole animation, and then on the timeline, you can just move the mesh and the best poses for the certain frames, which is like very handy when you have a shot of the interior, for instance, and I have to show character coming to this point, doing that thing and that thing. I can just move timeline, move camera, and send it to the client, and it's very fast.
Very cool. We got someone's mentioned a headshot needs to evolve into body shot. I totally agree. we'll be working on that for sure. We also have people who are like, hey, we need quadrupeds. We need like to create octopuses and all kinds of crazy stuff. So we're also working on that in the background. But I think at this point, Jakub, we can probably hand it over to you, and you can give us a bit more detail about your workflow. I know you have a little bit of a couple of projects prepared that you want to show. So if you want to share your screen, we can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, sure.
And after that, we're going to get to the Q&A, so everyone get your questions ready.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep. I can.
Okay, awesome. So now we're in Blender when with the face builder. Like I get the photos of an actor, or if I'm doing personal project, I get my wife, I get my friends, my father or mother, or somebody I meet on the street. I take the pictures of those people. Or if you live alone in the mountains, you can buy the photo reference packs with some nice faces. Uh, so basically, with the face builder, you can create a head and import your photos to start aligning that. Then I click on the first pictures, and KeenTools has this really cool auto align feature where I can just click and do nothing, which I really like. And I can do that for every single angle of my character and then just fix the small details. And then I just go and fix like the ears. You can click on the mesh and then just drag to make it fit nicely. If you're taking photos yourself, I would recommend getting like some nice raws and ambient light. If you don't have soft lamps, you can use your window on a cloudy day or just go outside. Basically, you want to avoid taking photos in the sunlight. And when you get the first 3 or 4 angles, there is basically mostly fits, and you don't have to worry about aligning every single picture. Sometimes I work with only 1 or 2 pictures, so it's not necessary to have that many, but it's obviously the best for the results. Also, when I'm going to export my face, I won't use the whole mesh. I will just use front of the face. So I'm not worried about the neck or hair or things like that. Also, if you have one picture of a person, sometimes the texture won't generate in some areas and it's going to be black. That you can always overpaint in Photoshop or photobash it. So it's also really nice. I'm done. Now to texture that, I go to Texture tab and I just click Create Texture. And after a while, I have ready head. So like I mentioned, I won't use the part of the hair and the neck. And to export that to the character creator, I just have to click Export Character Creator. And it will take a while to generate a head. Now we're gonna use headshot to get the rest of the details. I'm gonna go to Photoshop to fix some parts of the texture to get rid of the hair and some coloration on the face. So basically now I got attached to the body. I picked mask type 2 with the male. I don't change anything here. Texture size, it can be 2K or 4K. It depends on the quality of the pictures we've had. It's for 4K. basically the advantage of using that workflow is when you do the head only in a character creator, it lacks kind of the detail and the texture. Like there are limitations of the realism you can achieve. And when you take photo of the face, there are a lot of color variation with the local color where the nose is more red, the ears are more red. There is some uneven coloring on the face. With the face only from character creators, for my taste, a little bit too even, which makes it unrealistic. So we're getting the head from the KeenTools and getting the texture from the real photos, skipping that part. And we don't have to create a texture in Substance or other places to make it like realistic.
There are lots of questions in the chat about like when to use headshot, when to use FaceBuilder, and these kind of things. And probably it's yeah, it's not.
Ask them now, so I can answer in the meantime.
Yeah. I just want to shed some light on like actually what is like this product, like how it all works together. It's actually a result of collaboration between KeenTools and Reallusion. So it's all started with some random comment on LinkedIn. Someone like under our post mentioned John Martin. And then we started communicating, and like we actually found that like our products are very much complementary. So we can create an accurate face that can be then automatically wrapped in the character creators topology. And yeah, there are like questions like, do you have to set up points and so on? Nope, because it's all now integrated into one pipeline. So you can just build the mesh in FaceBuilder, export it, and then you get it in headshot. That's basically the idea. That's it.
Yeah, very good point.
And
Yeah.
to answer the headshot, I would say I would use headshot if the likeness is not the key point. I would use KeenTools when the director really want to see this actor doing this, which is like actually quite often. They like to see things, how they're gonna look on the screen. So for illustrations, let's say for the games, I would use headshot. For the movies or like TV series I'm working on, I go with KeenTools. And KeenTools is works with the headshot. So now, when we are in the character creator, the head is ready, but we have like some small errors in the texture. We just scroll down, and with a diffuse photo, we can launch it with one button in Photoshop and just start fixing it right away. So basically, I know that this hair is looking bad in this one. I can go with the healing brush. And then to reduce this hair, I sometimes just copy the part of the head, move it. Doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to work. Yeah, let's copy the other part of the head. Like obviously you can do everything nice, tight, precise, and like game ready, but I don't really care about that. For me, it just has to work. Now I can just save it. And click apply skin texture. And it's fixed. And here on the side, there's some more. So we can go back to Photoshop. Some more of the face. All of it. And done. It's really handy that you can just click button and update the texture and export the head from Blender and all that. I really don't like go through the folders, looking for my files. I'm not the cleanest person in making the folder list, so it's always pain for me. So if there's like a live link or something, and I just can click a button, I'm really happy with that. So I have my texture ready. In the headshot, I can go to activate sculpt more, and I can tweak a little bit of the elements that I want to tweak. Let's say the ears to make it like more funky. I can just move part of the mesh. Make his ears bigger. Something like that. Can edit his nose. Eyes, ears, mouth, or like specific elements of the face. When I use only headshot without KeenTools, I spend more time here to make it nicer with the picture. When I'm using the headshot, the KeenTools, I don't have to do much here to be fun. And with that done, I can just go to the skin part. There's like a lot of content in Character Creator that you can refine the face even further. So I go to the skin part where I can add some more normal maps, roughness maps, some more coloration of the face to make it even more realistic. And what I do, I just go one by one through every single part of that and look for something that may look interesting on this character or not. I should go the partial wrinkles. I think that I can. And let's draw some wrinkles of this guy. I don't spend a lot of time here. Again, depends, because I don't see character up close that often in my work. So it's just like his face and it's from afar. So to be fair, I could just use that and start working on the clothes, but I'm gonna show you how I would do that if I would have more time. And then with this is obviously too strong, so I go down with the opacity and I put it up just a little bit, get some more interesting normal effects. Some noise. That's basically just adding style on top of the list. It's very intuitive. And here you can also edit multiple parameters of the texture. You can import your own normals. You can tweak normal strengths. You can tweak colors of the, if you would put some makeup, you can put makeup on the character. You can give him a lipstick, eyeshadow, or other stuff. The skin details. What do we have here? Skin noise, no coloration, yes. Some dull eyes. Looks a little bit better. Lacking some sleep. Some redness on the nose. With roughness. Add a little bit of that. And again, with the roughness and strength of the normal, of the specular, in Blender, you can edit all that later, so you don't have to export that and then be like, oh no, the normal is too strong, I have to come back. You can edit that with the auto setup in Blender. I will show you that in a second. I will go to the blemish. He's ginger, so let's put some freckles on him. You can add some dirt, you can add scars, tattoos. With tattoos, you can import your own alphas or use the ready ones. I don't want tattoo on this guy to the file. And then with the body hair, it's just for the normal. I won't use that, I will use normal hair. I will do that actually now. Everything ready, you can turn off the editor. And in the hair, you can get the ready packs prepared by the Reallusion, or you can do your own hair in Blender. How? I don't know, I never tried that, but I know you can do that. Let's go with some beard, this guy. Or no, let's go with this short box set. I won't use those hairs though. This beard is also the tongue, it's a different one. Oh no, no, totally different one. This one, a bit shorter. I will get rid of the mustache. I want it. That's just right. Then in the hair, I will go with the classic short. And on top of that, I will add something else. For eyes. This maybe, combine that. Okay. You can change color later in Blender or here. I did usually in Blender. So we're almost done with that. The last thing I like to do is to get the expression wrinkles, the new thing that they added in Character Creator 4. So sometimes you have to show the emotion of the character. It's kind of stupid to do the dramatic keyframe when he holds his dead friend in the arms and has normal face. So for that, we go to I think expression wrinkles, and I use neutral. And it changes nothing. Now we have to put some animation. There's already animation of the expressions in the character creator that I just export, and I use that. We go to expressions, expression wrinkles, simple animation. Let's go to dramatic male. And we can go through timeline and see all the wrinkles and how it behaves on the character. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. So with character ready like that, I can import the codes into the character creator. I'm gonna open the project with that, but first to export that, like we have ready character, you go to export, FBX, cloud character, and here I go to Blender, measure motion, I go with current animation, and I turn off first frame, and like that we can export that and later re-import that in Blender to use that. So how to make clothes? With clothes, I'm gonna open other project, clothes, replace all. Basically, if I have a lot of time, I use Marvels to do my clothes. If not, I buy ready projects and just kit bash the clothes on top of the character. Like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. I usually sculpt over that in Blender. So basically when we have, go to scene, let's say we got our pants, our character. I can just go to transfer skin weights. You can default, apply. And basically repeat that for every single piece of the clothing. And to see how it works, like sometimes if I like to dress my character in the T pose, because sometimes if it's in the A pose, the mesh picks the weight of this part of the character, of the rib cage, and it stretches and doesn't look so good. So the good practice is just start with the character in the T pose, import your clothes from Blender. To import that, we go to create, accessory, and then we can import our mesh. So to check if it works, we go again to the animation. Let's select our character. Let's put some pose. Looks okay. Good enough. Like for the concept art, I don't have to have everything nicely done. I don't care about the weights or like that this part wouldn't behave like that. I would just go into Blender, and then when I have my pose ready for the camera, I would just like sculpt over that, take the grab brush and just move it here and make it nice. So our character ready and exported, we can go to Blender. And in Blender, we can import our character. We're gonna use the Reallusion add-on to Blender. And this find character, the latest one. It'll take some time to calculate the things. And we're here. So basically, a little bit longer. Yeah, it's okay. I would have to compile all the textures. Like I mentioned before, it's a lot of texture. I will also show you how to optimize that, because when you have one or two characters, I work on a laptop, so I don't have a lot of VRAM. So I try to optimize my characters as much as I can, because when you go above like 2 or 3, then you run out of the VRAM and the stuff just doesn't work, which is a problem. With the mesh density, I don't care that much because the mesh is fairly optimized. The clothes is it's about the amount that you're gonna export it from Blender. I often go to the decimate and just leave around 10K polygons for each piece of clothing. Depends on the complexity, of course. And the lower the amount of the polygons in your cloth, the easier it's going to be to animate and pose. So we have our character. That's very nice. And here in the character pipeline, we have all the options for our character. We have a lot of settings. We can add materials. We can recalculate it. And also in the shader editor, we have this very complex shader tree, but when you're going to scroll in, it's very easy. It's like Q for the diffuse, specular, roughness, and normal. Like I mentioned before, you can adjust that here, so it comes very handy. And since we exported the expression wrinkles, here I can just go to the dope sheet, go over the timeline, hit G, and while I move it, wrong direction, I can change the facial expression of my character. And like that, I can just get the expression I want. Now, how to pose the guy? Well, let me go here to the ready scene, grab the animation, just copy the animation. Materials you can make now, or you can, when I export it from Blender, I usually have materials ready. So I re-import that without materials. Later to link that, I just click on the mesh. I click on the mesh with the materials, Control L, link materials, and jumps over. So the animation, I get some static animation, I think. I go again over the timeline to see how it works. I can go to the pose mode. I can copy pose. Click on my rig. Paste pose. Sometimes it works funky, sometimes it doesn't work at all. Or I can just click on my rig. I can click on my animation, link animation data. And I can just move that over timeline and see which pose works or which gets me the closest to the thing I want to achieve. And from that, let's say this is the pose I want. I go again to the pose mode. And I can just move everything to Solvia. I can just move everything and adjust all the things, make it match my goal. So now I'm going to go to the scene when I post everything and all that. So when I got my clothes, my materials, my clothes ready, I can start refining my shots basically, all the textures and all that. It gives me like a pretty solid start to overpaint later in the Photoshop. What I would overpaint here, like let's say it's the interior of the room or something like that, I would add some redness in the ears to get some more color variation on the face, on the nose. I would photobrush a little bit of the hair to make it nicer, maybe photobrush a little bit of the wrinkles, and then you just paint over the clothes, you change the lighting, you change the pose, you change the cameras, you get multiple shots, you send it to the client, hopefully they like it, and then you do another character, and so forth, so on. Yeah, I think so. That's all from me. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's tons of people in the chat that are like loving that quality of render. And I think Jakub did a really good job of just showing. I mean, that was like what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe, how quickly he went through that workflow. It's so easy and efficient to get that quality of render, which just kind of shows you the power of the FaceBuilder headshot pipeline and then rendering in Blender, which is awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for that, Jakub. That was amazing to share your workflow with everyone. We're going to get to the giveaways. So we're going to give away, it looks like an annual license for FaceBuilder. Is that correct, Roman? I just want to confirm that with you. Yeah, annual license for FaceBuilder, and we're also going to give away a license for Character Creator as well. So I'm going to put a link in the chat. Hopefully everyone's here. This should be the link. Oh, that's not the link. I pasted another link. I had one saved in my clipboard here. This should be the one here. So a little precursor here. This is the first time I've done this free giveaway live. We just wanted to kind of copy our friends over at Rococo and do a live giveaway. But we're gonna be giving away well, 2 licenses. So like I mentioned, the FaceBuilder license and the Character Creator license during the webinar. And then we're also going to be giving away 2 additional licenses of both for those who fill out the survey and get back to us. We'll be selecting from the survey respondents. So yeah, okay. So that link that I put in the chat, hopefully everyone can see that link. And hopefully everyone puts your name in that. We're going to answer a couple of questions. Well, it looks like tons of people are already in there. Okay, this is working just fine. All right. I didn't test this before, so I'm happy it's working right now. But we're going to answer a couple of questions here. Give you guys a couple of minutes to enter your name into the giveaway. And then we will probably in about maybe 5 more minutes, we'll get back to the giveaway and find out the winners. All right, so first question we got here is from anonymous attendee. What is the difference between KeenTools and Headshot, pros and cons? Maybe I'll go a little bit first, and then I'll let Roman maybe answer a little bit more as well. I think we've kind of displayed here that they're basically complementary tools. So KeenTools is amazing at getting your initial the head, the realistic, because you get like 7 different angles, you get like all this much more detail when you're working with FaceBuilder. And then you take it into Headshot and you can use it for like some practical applications like Jakub just showed, pre-visualization, or in his case, it was like a really nice Blender render. So that's kind of my understanding of it. To be honest, I feel that KeenTools is very good at getting your quality, your initial quality, and then you can build upon that with various different tools like even Photoshop and stuff. Roman, did you want to add anything there?
Well, you actually answered pretty correctly. I would say yeah, exactly the same. So they are complementary tools. They are actually, there is in Headshot, there is also functionality to get the initial guess, but it works from one angle. And if you want to get more likeness, then in that case, FaceBuilder comes and you can get the better result. And also, like on contrast, for example, if you have high quality scan, in that case, again, it's better to omit FaceBuilder step and directly use the scan in headshot to get the initial like form of the of the head. The only important thing, which like also beneficial, because we transfer texture as well, which as far as I know, I'm not sure here, probably Anthony, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems if you have just random scan, you can't transfer texture so that you can use it right in the headshot, right? So in that case, you're going to use like some predefined textures. But if you want to like use the texture from the actual face, then in that case, it's better to use FaceBuilder. So yeah, that's how the pros and cons. But obviously, the quality of the scan is like kind of higher than FaceBuilder quality. But at the same time, yeah, we are working on improving. We are constantly improving it, and it's like quite close now, quite close.
Awesome. All right, let's go to the next question from Quentin. Quentin Rude, considering the workflow to Nuke, will this application work with DaVinci Resolve / Fusion? I think that would be for you, Roma.
Yeah, I think it's about KeenTools Suite, and it's something on like our plate. We are like thinking about it, but we like haven't yet started. So, but we started. We thought about how it can be implemented, but we like can't share any ETA when it's gonna be available. But don't hesitate to write us if you need it. It will definitely help us to make this decision.
Okay, cool. We got a question from Dwayne. We'll do a couple more questions, and then there's 84 people who have entered into the competition. So make sure you guys. I want to emphasize again. I'll repost the link in the chat here, so you can enter your game into this document. Because if your name's not entered, then you're not in the running for the prizes. So make sure you do that. We'll answer a few more questions and get this taken care of in a bit. Question from Dwayne. How well does KeenTools handle stylized characters, specifically bigger than normal eyes? So maybe anime type characters.
Well, it's all depends on how much they are stylized and how far they are from the actual realistic faces. So we actually have a statistically based model inside, like deformation model inside KeenTools, and it's based on real people, real scans of real folks, and that's why it's hard to say how well it's gonna perform with stylized character. But we saw a lot of applications, but definitely it's gonna work like not that magical how it works for real people. But we see a lot of applications with some animating characters and so on. But I can't recommend it. It's not something we try to optimize.
Fair enough. Yeah, good answer. I think that the whole stylized aspect of creating characters is, thankfully, it's very dependent on the individual artists, in my opinion. And I think the artist's skill really comes out when you see those stylized characters. So a lot of it is done manually. All right, let's go to the next one from anonymous attendee. For software like FaceBuilder and others by KeenTools, will it only be subscription-based, or do you have plans for perpetual licenses?
Yeah, we are considering it right now. Like we are thinking about like perpetual licensing as well. Obviously, like it's gonna be like higher than a subscription-based thing in terms of price. But yeah, we are listening to our community, and often people mention it. So yeah, we are thinking about it.
Right on. Yeah, that's like the big debate right now is, do people prefer subscription or perpetual licenses? I know Reallusion, we currently only offer perpetual licenses, but we've had people that are, you know, into subscription. Some of us at Reallusion aren't fans of it, but you know, it's give the people what they want. So if you guys, you can always put that in the feedback form when you send us the survey later on, and we'll wait.
It's all about like small details and user experience, to be honest.
Mhm.
Like, okay, so if we have a perpetual licensing, so in that case, for instance, if you have perpetual only licensing, so in that case, the question is like, is it like for all versions of the tool, or new versions gonna have a new license? Because like when you have a subscription, all new updates like goes you for free. But like in case of perpetual license, you have to support all the pipelines, or they will be outdated and the user experience gonna be like not that good as it can be on the latest version. And so it's always a balance between different things, but it's like pretty like you can combine both approaches together, I believe.
Absolutely. Or you could be like me and like just give them your credit card and then totally forget, like 3 years later, you're like, what are these charges on my my credit card?
Yeah. I personally always check all my charges.
Yeah, you know, I definitely try to, for sure. All right, you know what? We have 93 people entered into the giveaway here. So you know what? I think we might just end it off at that. I don't see any more people coming in. So I have to go to this other link here, which is what's it called? The Wheel of Giveaway or something. To the name and sheets. The Wheel of the Names, it's called. I'm gonna throw this into the I'm gonna share my screen in just a moment here, but I'm first gonna enter in some names from the document here. Tito, you got in just at the last minute there. Tito Williams. Okay. All right. So you guys have any let me first share my screen so you guys can see this is all legitimate. Do you guys want to do the FaceTools giveaway first, or sorry, the FaceBuilder giveaway first, or the Reallusion one? How about we do any preference, Roman? Should we do paper, scissors, stone? Or go alphabetical order? Maybe character creator is first, so alphabetical order.
Let's do it.
All right, so this will be for character creator, the character creator bundle. We're giving this one away. Hopefully you guys can all see my screen. I'm gonna make sure in the chat that everyone can see my screen.
Yeah. We can see the screen. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, everyone can see it. All right, so I'm gonna click, and this is gonna be the winner of the character creator bundle. Oh, all right. Clydas Giedrikas. Sounds like someone from Greece. All right, so congratulations on winning the character creator bundle. I'm just going to make a note of this on my laptop here so we can remember the name. And Giedrikas. All right.
Clydas said that he's Lithuanian.
Oh, Lithuanian. Okay.
Sounds very Lithuanian.
Apologies for that. You know, I'm from Canada. We're all we don't have all that. We all have basic names. We'll just say that, hockey-based names. All right. So congrats to Clydas. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. All right, and we'll do this one more time, and this one is for the annual FaceBuilder license. And so we'll click one more time. And this one, hopefully it's not the same person. Michael. Oh, Nikita Lysenko. All right, so that one's for the
Congratulations. I actually see
Nikita.
A sector which is called FaceBuilder, which is quite a strange name for FaceBuilder raffle, but
all right, so those are the two giveaways for the live webinar. Again, I want to encourage you guys all to fill out the survey, send it back to us, and we'll select two more from the the survey respondents. So congratulations to those two, and we'll get back to the Q&A. We have a couple more questions for the Q&A and some ending comments, a little bit of a parting sales promo, and we'll get to the Q&A right now though. So where am I here? All right. My Q&A disappeared. Is it because I shared my screen? That is the weirdest thing that's ever happened. Let me make sure it's not somewhere else. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Maybe that will... Okay, so now the Q&A pops up now that I stopped sharing my screen. That's weird. Okay, anyways, so you'll see our faces again. Next question's from Alex. KeenTools is amazing. Thanks, Alex. I'm working on a feature film now. I need to add some blood spatters to the face of our actress. Just wondering if there are any suggestions for the workflow. The pipeline is Blender to After Effects. I'm wondering if you can suggest something just to do it in After Effects. Also, it was filmed anamorphic. Is there any way to change pixel aspect in Blender for face tracker? A lot of questions there, Alex. Maybe Jakub, you can just maybe answer the first one about adding blood splatter. If you were to add some blood spatter.
I would probably share
for the blood spatter quickly. There is a ready pack in the character creator of the blood you can add on the face, or you can put a plane of the blood and then shrink wrap it to the face. I will do it this way. Yeah, that's it for the blood.
Okay, Roman, you're going to say something?
Yeah. My usual approach is like when you grab the texture, then you have an ability to unwrap it in UV space, and then you can add blood on top of it, and then like if it's not moving, then you can like project it like based on the object, and voila, you are done. But an important thing which I'd like to hear to mention here is that we actually working on something new inside KeenTools for Blender, and stay tuned, because fairly soon we're gonna release a new public beta of face tracker for Blender. So you'll be able to add all this stuff right inside Blender without After Effects or Nuke and so on. And it's pretty magical experience. And it's gonna like all our tools usually free while in beta, and our beta usually quite long. So you have plenty of time to work with the tool and play with it and so on. So yeah, stay tuned. Subscribe to our channels like YouTube or Twitter and I don't know what else, Instagram. Anyway, like it's gonna be released fairly soon, and it's gonna be a blast.
Awesome. Thanks for that. You heard it right from Roman there. We're gonna look forward to the next KeenTools release. I wanted to add, if I was going to be doing the blood splatter, there's another option where you could like literally just take tomato sauce and throw it on your face or something like that, and then you could do the face builder pictures, right? That's another option just for anyone who's adventurous. All right. Well, anyways, we'll go to the next one from anonymous attendee here. Theoretically, could you work from Blender to CC4 to Maya? Absolutely, you definitely can. Reallusion, we try to be as compatible with as many tools as possible. It's one of our philosophies, our development philosophies. We just launched our first 3ds Max auto setup plugin. If you're a 3ds Max user, excellent plugin. We have Unreal, Blender, all that other stuff. So yeah, you can definitely work with Maya as well. Next one from Akin Maya. Can we expect major innovations between Character Creator and Blender for the Face Builder plugin in the future? If the answer is yes, what improvements and innovations can come? I think you can definitely expect innovations and improvements from both KeenTools and Reallusion. I think this is an amazing workflow, as you just saw. So when you establish a great workflow like this, your initiative is to develop it even further. So I can't really tell you specifically what improvements and innovations. I'm not in R&D, but you can definitely expect that kind of stuff in the future. Okay, we got Olamide Iluyomade. All right. Hopefully I didn't butcher that name, but thanks for being here. Good day. I remember on a job I needed to track a head, so I got Head Builder and got the head shape and then tried to track, only to find out that I had to buy a whole different license for GeoTracker to do that. It was fully clear at first that if I handled better, but yeah, only just needed to track a head and had to buy 2 licenses. I think that would be for Roman. Can you guys see the Q&A as well? It's a very long.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've read it. So actually, because, well, first we are releasing soon FaceTrack, and FaceBuilder comes together with FaceBuilder and FaceTrack actually can be bought like together as a bundle. And we are also now thinking about like having all tools bundle, so like you can have all together. So yeah, bundles are cool.
Absolutely. All right. Another question from Dwayne. Is there a free trial version? We do. I think you guys also have a free trial.
Yeah, we also have a two weeks trial for FaceBuilder. Okay. And actually, like most of our users are actually on trial version, most likely.
All right. Another question from Akin here. Are there any improvements or enhancements to Insta-LOD texture compositing for CC4 and the built-in merge materials feature? Because textures are dissolving and failing to merge together into one UV map. This happens to me all the time. Very good question, Akin, and this is a Reallusion character creator related. The Insta-LOD texture compositing, that's a strange, I've never encountered that myself. But if you are consistently having issues with it, please contact our customer support, because our Q&A department would love to take a look at that. It may be system related. There's all kinds of things it could be. But if you're having that issue, Akin, yeah, please contact our customer support so we can improve your experience there, because that's generally doesn't happen. A question from Watson here. Would love an advanced, it's more of a comment, I guess, would love an advanced bone feature to create / rig a character with 2 sets of arms. It's like someone wants to create Shiva, or what's that Indian god of death and life. I just watched a TV show the other day anyways. They're talking about that. Anyways, thanks Watson for the comment. We are at Reallusion working on a quadruped version of character creator. It's not going to be in the near future, but it is in the works. So for those of you who want to create, 6-armed Hindu goddesses, then that's the answer to your prayers there. All right.
I would reinforce that. Let me interrupt. I would just cut the hands of the character and copy with the bones and just cover that with the cloth, and you have multiple hands.
Yeah, that's innovation right there. All right. Another anonymous attendee question: Do you need to set the Blender camera focal length to match your photos?
It's about FaceBuilder. It's about FaceBuilder, yeah. And actually, like, we have 3 options. First, we try to extract information about focal lengths from EXIF if it's available on photos files, right? So I think that what happened with photos that Jakub showed today, because they were with EXIF, and we just took this information from this metadata in the files. And we also have an option, which is usually if we can't extract information from metadata, in that case, we are trying to estimate it on all the photos. And yeah, it works pretty accurate. So accuracy is about 5% or something, so it's pretty close. Especially it's handy if you have different photos from the wild, from internet, and you don't know the focal lengths. But the last and the manual option, you can actually manually enter focal lengths for each frame. That's basically it. So yeah, all the ways.
Right on. All right. Well, we'll go for questions probably for another maybe 10 minutes here, max, and then we'll leave all the other questions to you guys from the feedback form here. We got another one from Kirill. Kirill Klokchov. Oh man,
Clutch
I'm
cough.
terrible at this. Clutch cough. All right. Yeah, you got it. Yes, is it possible in a future update to use FaceBuilder with hair shape create?
Oh wow. Oh, theoretically it's possible, but it's tough. Like it's really tough. And like currently we are not considering it in our near plans, but we are trying to keep up looking at all the papers in this area, because yeah, it's in the area of our interest.
Okay, great. If there's a will, there's a way. Next question from Hari Prasad. With the increasing demand for real-time animation in fields like virtual production and live streaming, how are you adapting your tools to meet these emerging needs while maintaining high quality output? This sounds like a job interview or something. Yeah, I don't know. You know, that's more of a question for our R&D department. Hari Prasad, people like me, we just kind of like, you know, communicate the desires and demands of users to that department, but we have a whole department for that you know, that's their job to take care of that stuff. We really highly encourage customer feedback. As you probably know, we do webinars every month. We want to get your live feedback from Q&A. We want to get your surveys back. So we really value that feedback from you guys, and try to sculpt the future of our product according to those needs. So I think that's a diplomatic answer. All right. Another question, Hari Prasad as well. We'll go to the next one. Can you discuss any innovative approaches? Okay, so this is about the gap between 2D and 3D animation techniques. Again, that's a very R&D related question. With Reallusion, as you may know, we have Cartoon Animator, which is our 2D animation software. It's in version 5 right now, so it's actually fairly developed. A really great tool, I think, fairly underrated. But we have a live link that goes between our 2D animation software and our 3D animation software, so you can actually apply 3D animations to your 2D characters. And of course, results may vary. It does take some tweaking in certain cases, but that's one of the innovations we've had. And I don't think KeenTools, you guys probably don't have any thoughts on 2D as much, right? You have any 2D products in the pipeline?
No, but like all our products is about like converting 2D to 3D. So like extracting 3D information from 2D images and sequences of images. So yeah, I like can't say that we do something for 2D animators. Nope, it's like not in the plans for sure.
Very good point. And I think, you know, in the end, you take the 2D to the 3D, and then Jakub does the 3D to the 2D render for the, you know, production. So yeah, it goes back and forth.
That's irony.
Yeah. Okay. Question from Mike Simone here. FaceBuilder is creating a face shape and a high quality diffuse texture. Do you then need to separately work on a roughness and bump map? Good question. Maybe one of you guys can.
I guess it's more for Jakub, but
yeah.
General answer is yes.
It creates the diffuse, and then the character creator creates the rest. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, good answer. It's you get a ton of maps in Character Creator, but you get the, like I said, the high quality starting point from FaceBuilder, which is great. Anonymous attendee, are these tools like FaceBuilder and Headshot only limited to photos of humans, or will animals be considered too? Oh man, people are always asking about animals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, cats
actually, actually we have a few tests with it. Yeah, with cats and with dogs, and it could be handy this way too. Yeah, but of course you can't construct a precise mesh of animal head using FaceBuilder.
That's great. It's a good starting point though, you know. And like I mentioned, we're also working on quadrupeds as well. So the future is pets, apparently. Okay, we'll go to the next question from Kieran Estrada. Have you noticed a difference in quality between FaceBuilder and 3D scanning prosumer software like Polycam? When you need close-up details of the face, how does FaceBuilder perform? I'll let you guys take that one.
Oh, it's actually a very good question. So like there are pros and cons. Like the pros are that actually like when you do like 3D scanning, you have a kind of a point cloud, right? So you will not get texture, and you often have like issues with hair, because like when you import the mesh into headshot, in that case, like it's expecting the mesh without the hair, or like at least in some, I don't know, like head or something like, but it should be pretty bold. And it's often not easy to have it. And like, and again, like you often need texture. On contrast, actually 3D scanning software like Polycam produce quite accurate mesh. The only limitation is that you then need to map this mesh accurately to actually use it inside like character creator. So you need to manually set up points for ears, eyes, nose, mouth, and so on. So the pipeline is longer. And I would say that the quality at the moment, like pretty comparable. So it's not that, like sometimes in Polycam you can extract these small details, but the problem is that usually then you lose them when you import the mesh into character creator. Probably you can set up some process of extracting these small details into displays map or something, but it's like kind of complicated. So it's hard to compare. I mean, like I would for sure use FaceBuilder in almost all my applications, but probably sometimes, especially if you like have a way how to use this rough texture, point cloud, for example, for adding some hair afterwards in Blender or something. In that case, probably Polycam will be more beneficial. Yeah, that's a long answer, but the question is like pretty tough and pretty interesting, I would say.
No, I think you made a good point, and I want to emphasize as well that both our teams have worked hard to do the hard work that Roman was talking about. You know, getting all the points and being able to animate the face and everything like that. So yeah, the workflow's certainly easier with with our two softwares. We'll go to the next question from Zola. Anyways, this is a technical question for Reallusion, I guess. Hi Zola, she's a longtime Reallusion user. Is there a difference between the base characters in CC4 and CC3 plus characters? So this is kind of a naming thing that we've always laughed about at Reallusion. CC3 plus characters are CC4 characters. So those are the latest versions of our characters. I don't know why they're called CC3 plus, not CC4, but that was just what happened. So yeah, they are the same thing. CC3 plus is CC4. So hopefully that clears up any issues you had there. Anonymous attendee asks, could we use Groom in character creator or just cards? So this one is a little bit of a more technical question, and I've messed around with Groom and cards myself. When it comes to the way they're exported to the software, it depends on which software you're using. So the auto setups that we have, auto setup plugins we have for, like, say, for example, Unreal, Blender, 3ds Max, Maya, etc. Those will convert the hair textures and materials to different to the associated software that they're going into. So it really depends on which software you're using. I'm not really technically savvy with either of any hair modeling in general, so I'll just say that for now. But good question. I don't really have a solid answer for that, but it just depends on the software you use. All right, we got about 4 more minutes. I'll go to a couple more questions and then we'll end off. Question from Chad here. When trying to get an accurate sculpt with FaceBuilder, how many pins is too many where it starts to be detrimental? Good question. Or maybe...
Yeah, really good question. And well, there are a number of aspects. So usually, like, the important is that your pins, like these points, right, are like don't have long residuals. Like when you drag them, you have this kind of a row between the actual point and surface point, which it is attached to. So in case you use FaceBuilder like in a right way, you don't have lots of these long residuals. And the way how you can get them is actually if you attach, for example, 2 points to the same part of the skin and drag them into different direction. And in that case, you'll have lots of points, but they will actually they will not help each other. They contradict each other. And in that case, it will actually start to be detriment. And so I would say that in many cases, like the first few needs, I don't know, approximately 20 points or probably 25 points, depending on the quality you want to get. And every next few will get less and less points. So like, because you get the face closer and closer to the actual projection. So it all depends on the particular character, but generally try to use not too many. So like use only pins you actually need to fix the projection. So if you feel that there are too many pins, you do something wrong.
Okay, good answer. Hope that's helpful. Let's go. I'm going to do 3 more questions. I'm going to select these questions from the ones I feel are kind of most relevant. So apologies if I miss your question, guys. But Quentin asks, will KeenTools eventually become available as a pipeline to Unreal Engine? You guys have any plans for that? Right on. Yeah, everyone and their uncle is using Unreal these days, so it's a good idea. All right, let's see. Zola asks, once I buy Character Creator 4, do I have access to their morphs for use with other characters, including skin color? Yeah, absolutely. It's all embedded into the software, and you can adjust the skin color as you want. There's also presets. The skin templates that Jakub was using earlier, there's also skin color templates you can use on top of like acne. If you want to give your character a sunburn, go ahead. You know, we'll have all the templates available. All right. Okay, good question from Mike really quickly here. Rather than exporting an FBX and then importing into Blender, would you recommend the Blender link? Absolutely. I've used Blender link. This is a Reallusion plugin that we've launched recently. I use it all the time in my recent workflow for freelance projects. Absolutely, Mike. I'm in love with that plugin, so I can highly recommend it. Okay, maybe I'll give one to you guys here. What kind of innovations and development? This is from Akin Maya again. What kind of innovations and development are you considering in the future for FaceBuilder? I think we'll maybe.
Well, we are currently working on full automated FaceBuilder without sacrificing the quality, but like it actually will give even better quality than you can achieve by manual dragging pins. That what is the inactive development, and we even have a pretty solid prototype already.
Right on. All right. We'll do one final question from Wesley here. I think this one's kind of interesting. Wesley asks, can the default Reallusion head mesh that already has face and mouth posing shape keys be used with FaceBuilder, or can these shape keys be added to FaceBuilder heads afterwards? Thanks. Jakub, have you ever messed around with that sort of workflow? Or you?
No, but I used Icon to animate a face recently. I was doing a pipeline for the architectural studio actually with the characters. We played with that. Like, I'm not a specialist, but it's interesting. Like, maybe I will do something in the future about that.
It's kind of like a backwards workflow. It's like you're taking the character creator head and into FaceBuilder, but you know, it's not something that
I just want to
Sure, go ahead,
want to
Roman.
add that, yeah, we actually have a number of blend shapes coming with our head, actually Fox blend shapes. So probably, like, I don't know what is your task, Wesley, but if you can share it with us in user support, like, we will try to help you, because we actually have a number of predefined shapes already. And in many cases, it's like more than enough, but probably you'd like need something specific. In that case, let us know, please.
Very, very good answer. That's yeah, I didn't know that myself. So really cool. So you also from FaceBuilder, you also get the blend shapes included. So that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, you actually can even track, like, for example, like when you track it with Face Tracker, then you can export it in a coefficients for all these blend shapes. So you can, for example, reapply these coefficients later on character creator, character, and so on. So there is like a nice pipeline which we actually probably can implement in future to also together with Reallusion to actually bring animation using Face Tracker.
Very cool. All right. You know what? I think that will be all for the questions for everyone today. I'm going to just make sure I'm not missing anything in terms of the in promo stuff. But yeah, I want to remind you guys as well. We mentioned the competition earlier, the Reallusion 3D competition, so 3D character creation competition. FaceTools is FaceBuilder is an amazing tool to take advantage of when you're creating your characters for this competition. I think I have the link here. No, I do not. But anyways, we have that competition. It'll be on our main page, reallusion.com. You should be able to find it there. Make sure you enter that. I also wanted to mention as well, we are recording this, like I mentioned. We'll be sending out the recording. I think you guys will be publishing on your YouTube channel. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
We plan to post it later on our channel as well. Yep.
Great. It'll be on KeenTools channel. It'll be on our Reallusion channel. And we'll send you guys the link in the follow-up email with the survey as well. Yeah, any parting comments you guys want to make? And then we'll end off today.
I want to like make a comment that Jakub, it was impressive demo. Really.
Thank you. Thank you.
So fast. So like, I don't know, like you do it roughly, but I'm amazed like to imagine how close to realistic likeness you can get, like if you have enough time for it. But it was like super cool. Thank you a lot.
Thanks.
Absolutely. It just seemed like you were just clicking like maybe a couple of minutes and then you were just like this bam, amazing renders.
I mean, like, I don't have much time while I work on the movies, so yeah, I try to find something that's the fastest. This is the fastest workflow like I can find. I spent a lot of time looking for that, and here I am. So
Right on. Anton, anything you want to sign off with?
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Jakub. It was really interesting, and I think we me and Roman knows a lot about pipeline, like you introduced for us. So yeah, thank you very much.
Awesome.
thanks.
And yeah,
Thanks for having me.
you're the last one to say anything.
It was fun to present that. Like, again, if anybody has some more questions regarding workflow, I posted on the chat the video I did for Reallusion before. So there's like some more stuff, and if somebody has more questions, you can write me, and yeah, I'll try to help.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys, for being here for today's webinar. Really appreciate all the answers and the feedback and the questions from everyone as well. Thank you, everyone, for attending. And you know what? Get yourself a copy of FaceBuilder and Character Creator and enter that contest. We're looking forward to seeing what you guys have. So thanks, everyone, again for being here. And I'll
Thank
sign
you, Kev,
everyone
for
off
having
now.
us today.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
See you guys later.
Bye.
You.